Hi everyone! Welcome back to my vlog channel. Today I am doing a very exciting video. I'm going to be reading for 24 hours straight.
24 hours except for when I sleep, because there's no fucking way I'm staying up for 24 hours and gonna be able to read. I would just be miserable. I wouldn't even be able to comprehend anything.
So aside from sleeping, I'm gonna be doing nothing but reading for 24 hours, and we're gonna see how many books I can finish. So let's get into it. Oh my god. I mean, when I said let's get into it, this isn't what I meant, but I'll take it. I would be lying if I said that I wasn't nervous, because I am. I have been wanting to do this, like thinking about it for the past month, like trying to find a day that would work and I could just solely focus on reading. And up until right now, when I'm about to start it, I was really excited. I was vibing. I was like, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be so fun. And now that I'm like about to do it, I'm like, oh God, what did I get myself into? I think at the end of this 24 hours, when I see the books that I've read, I will feel happy and accomplished. And that's what matters. I haven't done one of these since I was in elementary school. Like, do you remember when you'd go to school and you'd have like a readathon day and everyone would just sit on the floor and read books for the entire school day? And I loved those as a kid. Those are like some of my favorite days at school, but I have not actually done a readathon myself since then. And today we're gonna try and do it for 24 hours. My biggest reason for attempting this is because I'm currently on a book buying ban. I've been going strong for 2 months is my goal, and it ends halfway through September. I think it's like September 16th. But until then, and the reason that I put myself on a book ban initially is because this entire shelf is my TBR shelf, and I really want to dwindle down my physical TBR. So for this challenge, I'm gonna try and only read physical books, not Kindle Unlimited or books on my Kindle, because I want to dwindle down this shelf. We have a lot. So I will be pausing the timer when I sleep. But other than that, no breaks, bitch. We're doing it. We're reading. If I'm awake, I am reading. If I'm shitting, I'm reading. If I'm eating, I'm reading. Before we hop into it and we pick out what books we're gonna read, I do wanna give y'all a little bit of an update on the books that I read during my vacation, because in my last vlog, I put together a little vacation TBR and I did manage to read 3 books. So let's go. I wish that number was higher. So now I'll just tell you about the 3 books I read and just quick little like reviews, how I felt about them. So if you're not interested, I will have the chapters linked so where you can just skip straight to the reading vlog. First of all, I did end up finishing the Ravenhood duet. I did not read the 3rd book in the trilogy, The Finish Line, Flock and Exodus by Kate Stewart, and I really actually enjoyed Flock. I read it before I left and I gave it a 4 stars when I finished it. I was like, wow, this is really good. I was really excited for the 2nd book, and then I got to the 2nd book and everything went to shit. All the romances and all the angst and the plot that was built up in book 1 basically just got smashed by a big old fucking baseball bat. And book 2 just felt like a completely different story, and I did not care about the love interest. The relationship was super abusive and toxic, and I just didn't like it anymore. So yeah, that was a 2 star. After that, I was like, I don't want to read the 3rd book. Then I read People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. I've been putting this one off, but I am so mad at myself for doing that for so long. I did love Beach Read. I gave Beach Read a 4 star, but it wasn't like perfect. But People We Meet on Vacation, 5 stars. Oh my God. Even thinking about it right now, I just like, it was so good. It was so good. The reason I put off reading People We Meet on Vacation for so long was because it had quite a few tropes that I typically don't really enjoy or I haven't enjoyed in the past. But Emily Henry just did them all so well. Oh my God, Alex Nielsen. I can't even talk about it. I like actually can't talk about it. I love men that go to therapy and get vasectomies. I do. The fact that Alex and Poppy love each other despite their flaws. They love each other's flaws. Like, Poppy loves that he's really shy and kind of socially anxious and he gets a little bit uncomfortable and he's awkward. And Alex loves that she's loud and her family's crazy. And it's just like, oh my God. And then I finished off my trip with A Stolen Life, I think is what it's called, by J.C. Dugard. I unfortunately did not enjoy this book, but it gave me a big perspective on myself. I do not want to diminish JC's story at all. JC did a wonderful job at telling her story, and I don't want to diminish her experiences at all because that's not what I'm trying to do. I just realized while I was reading this book that I just don't like nonfiction. Reading a nonfiction book, I feel like I like to look at literature very critically and how like creative it is and callbacks and tiebacks and as like an experience. And I feel like with nonfiction thus far, I don't really get that. It's more just like telling people's individual life stories. And then I feel guilty for looking at it critically because like as a book itself, I didn't enjoy it. I didn't like how it was written. I didn't enjoy certain things about it. But now because it's nonfiction, it's like you can't rate a nonfiction book. You can't like critique that because that's someone's fucking story, you know? So I realized I don't know if I'm like a nonfiction memoir type girly. I'm sure there are great ones. I have some actually on my TBR that I think I will actually really like, but that one just didn't really do it for me. It kind of put me in a little bit of a slump. So since I've been back from my trip, I haven't read anything. That ends today. Okay, so as mentioned, here's my TBR shelf. This is where I'm gonna be selecting my books from. But I don't think I'm gonna start by like picking out a specific TBR. I think I'm just gonna, I'm a big mood reader. So I think I'm just gonna start with one book and then after that, see what I'm feeling and just kind of pick my books as I go. So apologies if you don't like that, but I know what book I'm gonna read first. Book one of today's video is gonna be finishing Kiss the Sky by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This book I got, let's see, 142 pages in, and then I ended up DNFing this like 3 months ago. This is like the 4th book in the Addicted Callaway 10-book series universe, and I read the first 3 books like back to back to back pretty much. So by the time I got to this one, I was just kind of over it. I needed a break. Now I'm gonna finish this because I have the physical copy and I also have it on audiobook, so I can like interchange between. If I'm doing something like laundry or cooking and I can't physically read a book, then I'll listen to the audiobook. So this is one where I have both of them, so I might as well finish it. I'm ready and I'm actually excited to read this, and I think I'll enjoy it a lot more than I would have if I would have like pushed myself to finish it 2 months ago. Let's do it. I'm gonna set my timer. Let the games begin. We are starting. Wish me luck. Okay, I've got my water set up, I got my book, I got my AirPods, and I come over here to lay down on the couch to see that someone has stolen my spot. What am I supposed to do, babe? I was supposed to read right there. Oh, he's stretching. No, I definitely can't move him. I think we might have to find a new reading spot. We are nearing the 1st hour, but we have a little bit of an update. Josh brought me Starbucks. So I can finally wake up. It's 11 a.m., but I've been up since like 9 and I just feel groggy. Back to reading. Cheers. Okay, I am on page 321 and we are 2 hours and 45 minutes into the challenge, but we're taking a little bit of shift from pace, the scenery. I'm going to swap and put in my AirPods and listen to the audiobook because we have some errands we need to run. We are going to Target to pick up a chair that I bought so I can put it on the balcony and read outside because we have these like little bistro seats with a little table, but they're really uncomfortable, so I can't like sit out there for a long period of time. So I got something that I think is gonna work perfectly. So I'm just gonna be listening to the audiobook the entire time. Only 100 pages left. So I think we'll finish it while we're out on our errands, and then I'll let you know what I thought about the book, and we'll pick our next read. Okay, we are back from our little outing. It only took us about an hour and a half. Nearly done with the book. I think I have like 3 chapters or something, but I wanted to show you what we got. And I also have a little bit of a bookish unboxing as well because I had some mail when we got back. Here is the chair. And now it's on the ground. I'm gonna put that out there on the balcony, and then maybe when the sun sets, we'll read out there and test it out. Then we have 2 packages from Amazon, and they're both book related, and I'm gonna use them today. First, we have a big old packet of tabs because I am running low on my other ones. So there's these blue ones, these like pinky purples, these purples, these rainbow ones, these dark fall kind of tone tabs. Reading some thrillers this fall, using these to annotate. Oh, and then a double of the blue. I'm really trying to get better at annotating. I'm trying to up my annotating game. So I think that's what I'm gonna do for my next book. I'm gonna like fully try and annotate it. I also got some clear sticky notes so that I can write notes while I'm annotating, but if I ever decide, oh, I don't want to keep this book anymore, or I don't end up liking the book and I want to stop annotating, I can just take the sticky notes off and not worry about it. I am planning on rereading the Folk of the Air trilogy in like December, right before the new book comes out, and I will be just writing on those pages because I know I love those books. I'm never gonna get rid of those books. But for books that I'm not sure of at the beginning, I don't want to just write all over the pages. I got the transparent sticky notes, and that's before I realized that you need very specific pens to work with them. They don't work with water-based pens. You need oil or else it's just gonna smear everywhere. So I also got these. They're just some fine line Sharpies. Sharpie permanent markers and Sharpie pens are oil-based. So I got just a little rainbow pack so I could like match the color to the tabs. You get my point? So next book I read, we'll try these out. Super excited! We did it! Book number 1 is done. It may have taken me 5 hours and 18 minutes, which I'm not really proud of that timing. Considering that I basically had to read like 300 pages, it's like a full, I don't know, whatever. I thought I could do it quicker, but I literally felt like I was watching Gossip Girl, and so I enjoyed it. I definitely did enjoy it. I'm excited to, once my book buying ban's over, pick up the next book in the series and continue it. But for now, we need to change the pace. I also did change from my contacts to my glasses because they were starting to hurt my eyes a little bit. But let's pick out what we're gonna read next. I don't even know what I'm in the mood for, so. We have some good ones, honestly, but I don't know why I'm kind of craving something YA. I will say that Rose and Connor from Kiss the Sky, they're not my favorite couple in the Addicted Calloway universe. I think they're my least fave actually at this point, which is shocking because I really thought they would be my favorite. But Connor just, I don't know. There's something about Connor that I don't really love all that much, but the smut in that book was glorious. So I think I need to like cool off a bit and maybe go a more like YA route. I'm kind of down for something set in like high school, and I do have 2 options for this. I have Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I think this would be like a quick and easy one to get through. Or even All of Our Hidden Gifts by O'Donoghue. That has like a little bit of a fantasy twist to it. I'm gonna do this. The only downside with picking this book is that if it's really, really good, I can't just immediately go and read the next book. There is 3 books in this series. Something about books in a series just really speaks to me because I love a good series. So I just always buy, like literally 4 of those books, 5 of these books just here alone are first books in a series, so. I have a problem, but this is what we're gonna read. I'm down for a little murder mystery high school moment. I think this will be fun, entertaining, fast paced. I was gonna annotate the next book, but I feel like, I don't know if this is even worth annotating. I wanna annotate something that I feel like is gonna be a little bit more challenging, because I'm not one of those people that's gonna be able to sit there and just write, love this part, oh my god. Like I'll just highlight it or tab it if I really enjoy a part. But to annotate and like write stuff down, I feel like it needs to be a book that's a little bit more intellectually challenging for one reason or another, whether that's like a huge fantasy book and plot series. I definitely think I want to read and annotate Crescent City at some point, or even like A Little Life, but I don't know if I'm going to read any of those books today. We'll find out. But for now, we're just going to read this one. I'm going to grab some tabs just in case I want to tab my favorite parts. Maybe we'll do these tabs because they'll kind of fit the vibe. And I think I'm going to change my reading location as well from there over here. I haven't fully utilized my reading nook much lately, so I think that'll be a good idea. Okay, wanted to give an update. I'm nearing the 7-hour mark and I just hit part 2 of the book, page 103. Gonna keep reading for a little while longer, see how long I can last. I can feel myself getting like tired. So I think at some point I'm definitely gonna have to either take a nap and then wake up like late during the night to keep reading, or I'll just try and stay awake until actual bedtime and then sleep at like a normal, I don't know, eventually I'm gonna sleep. But I also did find the audiobook for this. In a few hours, we're gonna cook some pasta for dinner, so I'll listen to that while I do that, and then I'll go to the gym and listen to it as well. So that's the slay. I'm listening to the audiobook, making dinner with Josh. We're doing the TikTok feta pasta thing. We make it pretty regularly. If you like feta and you've never made it, I'd recommend it. I know it was like a TikTok fad like 2 years ago, but we make it like every few months, so. Okay, I'm gonna leave that noise in that you just made. It doesn't look the most appetizing, but it's good. I promise. It's good. I've set up the chair and our little Minecraft cube so I can rest my feet on it. And we are gonna read and watch the sunset. We're at 9 hours. Okay, we are 9.5 hours in, not even halfway through this challenge. But I did hit part 3 in the book. The sun is setting over in the distance. Sylvester's hanging out with me. I'm gonna try and finish this out here before it gets too dark. But for now, I've got like 150 pages left. So let's do it. Ignore the lighting. It is obscenely dark out now, but I finished A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson, and wow, oh wow, that was a wild ride. And we are 11 hours into the readathon. I'm learning that through this reading challenge, I do not read as quickly as I thought I did. I may be able to type quick as hell, but reading, maybe not so much. Sushi finally did decide to come out and hang out with me for like the last 100 pages. Sylvester as well. He's just really enjoying himself. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, I put my hair up in a disastrous bun because I'm about to walk to the gas station, get a Red Bull to give me some caffeine and some energy, and then we're gonna go to the gym, we're gonna take a nice bath and wind down for the evening, all while I read the next book, which I have decided is going to be The Black Flamingo by Dean Atta. I chose this because, one, I have the physical copy, but I also have the audiobook. It's on Scribd. If you don't know what Scribd is, by the way, it's like an app. It's like Netflix, but for audiobooks and ebooks, and you can read them directly on your phone or listen to them. They have so many of my physical TBR books on there in audio format, so that's kind of what I'm looking for, and this is one of them. This book is about Michael, who is a mixed race gay teen growing up in London, and then he discovers the drag community and drag culture and how that impacts his life, basically. Aside from the fact that I've just heard amazing things about this book, I also chose it because it's quite short. It may not look short, but it's actually written like one really long poem. So the audiobook's only 3 hours long at normal speed, so I'm sure I can fly through this really quickly. Hopefully I can finish this tonight before I go to bed, and then we'll resume the challenge tomorrow morning. I'm gonna listen to the audiobook as I walk to the gas station that's like literally 4 minutes away from my house, and then we'll go to the gym even though I'm tired. We're on the way. I can see my apartment right there. Okay, just left. We got the goods. I got Josh some chips as well that he wanted. And now we head back. The girl working at the checkout was reading a book too, but I didn't get to see what book it was. But part of me wanted to be like, yo, I too have been reading today for a god-awful amount of time. Okay, now that I'm back, I'm gonna drink my Red Bull, read for a bit until my Red Bull's gone, and then once I feel the caffeine hit, we'll go to the gym. So, cheers. It is officially 12:01 a.m. and we are 13 hours into the challenge. I got back from the gym and I was just sitting and reading, and I'm nearly finished with this book. I've only got a little bit of a chunk at the end. I've been tabbing the shit out of it because it's just so freaking good. I'm gonna hop in the bath, do a little face mask, finish the book, and then head to bed for the night. I'm gonna pause the timer and I'll wake up early tomorrow morning and we'll resume the challenge. But yeah, I can definitely feel the tiredness sinking in. If you follow me elsewhere or watch any of my other videos, you'd know that I was on vacation last week, and let's just say one of the days that we were in Mexico, we had access to an unlimited bar, and I had maybe like 4 too many mojitos and was very drunk and forgot to reapply my sunscreen, and I got really burnt on my shoulders. Now it's peeling like a motherfucker. So my forehead is also peeling a little bit. Really fun. I don't know why that happens to me. Don't be like me. Liquor and the sun just don't mix for me. I've been putting aloe vera on it, so hopefully this bath will help. I don't know. It's nearly 1 a.m. I just finished the black flamingo. I'm still in the bath. And oh my god, it was so good. I'm like actually crying. I'm literally crying. It was just so beautiful. I'll try and maybe explain my thoughts and feelings a little bit more eloquently in the morning. But I'm gonna wash all this off, wash my body, and go to sleep because I'm on the brink of exhaustion. But wow. Okay, I'm going to bed. I need to get it together. Love you. Good night. Good morning, everyone. It is the next day. It is currently 9:50 a.m. I just got dressed for the day, and now I am going to resume our timer. We are nearly 14 hours, 10 hours left for today. We gotta pick out what we're gonna read, and then we're actually gonna go pick up some breakfast and go read in the park. Josh is gonna come with me. So what are we in the mood for? Let's find out. I think I either, there's actually like quite a few things. Now that I'm in the swing of just reading, I feel like I could pick up anything and be fine. Fantasy or a romance. Okay, you know what? We're gonna do it. The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. I was planning on reading The Unhoneymooners by them while I was on my trip, and then my sibling Gio borrowed it and never finished it and still has it, so I didn't get to read it. But I had a lovely subscriber who happens to work in the publishing industry. She sent me this, so I'm very excited to read this. I also have the audiobook on my phone, and I've never read anything by Christina Lauren, so I'm excited to see how I feel about their books, because they're very, very popular. Okay, we are back home. I'm just gonna grab the additional Starbucks that I got yesterday to save for myself and curl up on the couch and continue reading. I'm actually really enjoying this book so far. I'm only like 50 pages in, but I feel like I'm kind of entering my traditionally published romance era. I've been reading some of both when it comes to self-published and traditionally published, and so far the traditionally published ones are really hitting, so I'm enjoying it so far. Update, it's It's been a few hours. I've done my daily transition from contacts to glasses. We are a little bit over 18 hours in, and I am currently a little bit under halfway through the book. I'm like nearing the halfway point. I'm transitioning to the audiobook on Scribd so I can make myself some lunch. And I think we're gonna make some ramen. I got this Thai noodles from Trader Joe's. Let's try it. Am I tearing up at another goddamn book? Yes, I am. How dare you? I normally do not like kids in books and like parent tropes. At first, I was apprehensive because the main girl, Jess, her daughter Juno, talks a little bit too goddamn smart for her age. I'm like, okay, no 7-year-old would say any of this. But by the end of it, just reading about Juno and River, who's the main love interest, their like interactions and stuff. Bitch. My ovaries did somersaults. I can't handle it. I'm on the epilogue, which I hate epilogues so much. And a lot of times romance epilogues kind of ruin things for me. It's always like 10 years in the future, everyone's rich and they have 9 kids and everything's amazing. And I'm just kind of like, I don't need that really. Like, I think this is an unpopular opinion, but I don't need all my romance books or my books in general to just tie up in this happy little bow. I kind of like just like a natural ending, but I'm gonna read it and then we'll see how much time we have left. Okay. Book done. We are 20 hours and 30 minutes in, which means that we have 3.5 hours left. So I don't know if I'll be able to actually finish like a full ass book in that time. I think given the time frame, I think the best option is to finish the other book that I have currently been reading. I started this before I left on my trip, got to chapter 6, and then stopped because I left and I just haven't felt inspired to like pick it up again. This is Pride and Premeditation by Terza Price. It is a Pride and Prejudice retelling as like a murder mystery. So since I'm already like 80 pages into this, I feel like this will be the best bet to just pick it up again. I already know the characters, I know the setting, I know what's going on, and maybe there's a chance that I could finish it. It has 327 pages, so I think that's what I'm gonna do for our last read of the video. And then at the end, I'll talk about all the books I read, give my mini little reviews, thoughts, and wrap this shindig up and then take a long ass nap. It's been really fun though. I definitely wanna do this again in the future, so let me know if you'd be interested in more 24-hour readathons. But for now, let's finish this one off with a bang. Probably not a sexual one though. I don't know if this book has smut. She's 17, so not that kind of bang. Update. I have a decent amount of laundry that I need to get done, so I'm gonna listen to the audiobook on Scribd. Gotta love audiobooks. I love being able to do chores and read at the same time. And if you think audiobooks don't count as reading, this isn't the channel for you. Okay. The sun disrespecting my vibe right now. I am currently on page 245 out of 360, and we have a little bit under an hour left. So will I be able to finish this in an hour? I fucking hope so. I gotta be honest, I don't think I've dabbled enough into historical fiction for me to really like enjoy this right now. I can't lie, I'm really having to push myself. I literally have had to like force myself to not fall asleep while reading this. The last 2 hours has been the hardest of the entire challenge. And just 1 minute after 24 hours, we are done! We did it! I finished Pride and Premeditation. Goddamn, it was rough for me to get through, but we did it, and the readathon is done. We read 5 books in 24 hours, and I would say that's a goddamn success. I'm proud of myself. I'm gonna go take a much needed nap, and we can talk about all the books and my reviews and stuff tomorrow. Okay, good night. All right, it is the next day. I've had a good amount of sleep. I got ready for the day. I'm actually going to a Kendrick Lamar concert in about 10 minutes. So let's wrap up this video. Let's talk about the 5 books that I read during this readathon. Oh my God, why am I struggling? Oh my God. First, we have Kiss the Sky by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This is the 4th book in the Addicted Calloway Sisters 10-book universe series. I took a few months off of reading this series, needed a bit of a break. And honestly, I'm glad that I did, because now that I went back to it and finished it, I enjoyed it so much more than I would have if I would have just like forced myself to read it in May. This is the first book that switched point of views from Lily and Lo to another couple, Connor and Rose. I ended up giving this a 3.75 stars, almost a 4-star, but just not quite there. And I think that's just because I don't really love Rose and Connor. I think they're my least favorite couple out of this like universe. As I was reading this, I felt like I was reading a book version of Gossip Girl, and I just had a fun time. Like, it was a fun way to start the readathon. I'm glad I read it, and I'm actually really excited to get the next book, but I have to wait till my book buying ban's over, so that won't happen until like September or August. But yeah, 3.75. Then we switched the pace with A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I picked this up at a Target randomly. I see it everywhere, and it was like $7 or something ridiculous, so I just picked it up. I know a lot of people say that this is quite juvenile, but I actually found like the writing itself and the overall story was like, you know, very easy to get into, so I can see how it's juvenile in that sense. But honestly, there were plot twists in here that I did not see coming. Like, the plot would twist and I'd be like, oh, that was the plot twist, and then there'd be another one and another one and another one, and I was like, oh my God, like my head was spun 5 times over. Also, the audiobook for this, amazing, amazing, amazing. If you've never really branched out into audiobooks, or you want to try out an audiobook, I highly recommend this one. Every person's part was played by a different narrator, so it felt like I was like listening to a movie. Like, it was really cool. Loved it. I gave it a 4-star. And then I picked up The Black Flamingo by Dean Atta, and I have quite a few tabs on here. This made me cry like a little baby. There was a scene in here where he talks about how he really wanted a Barbie for Christmas, and his mom did not get him a Barbie because it's like a girl's toy, and it reminded me of my brother Joseph, and it just really tugged on my heartstrings. It's beautiful. It's won the Stonewall Book Award, and I can 100% see why. I highly recommend picking this up. Super quick read, but one that will stay with me for a while. 5 stars. Then I read The Soulmate Equation. This was my first Christina Lauren book. This was so cute. I really loved the main characters in this. I loved the sexual tension. The male love interest River was like so swoon-worthy, and I loved Jess. She's a single mom, and normally I don't really fuck with children or parent tropes in books just because it's not something that I personally can relate to, and at times it did get a little bit cheesy. So I did dock a star for that, but I still gave it 4 stars. The romance was really fun. It was a really nerdy and cute take on a traditional romance and fake dating, and I really liked this. So if you like The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood, I think you would enjoy this as well. So, and then lastly, we have Pride and Premeditation by Tirzah Price. Now, this was one of those it's not you, it's me moments when it comes to this book. If you liked Pride and Prejudice, if you like historical fiction, historical romance, a murder mystery, you would like this. Like, it wasn't a poorly written book. I think the murder mystery was fun, the story was fun. I think the romance was a little bit too subplot for me. I feel like I was expecting a little bit more of a romance, but I thought this was a modern retelling when I picked it up. I thought it was set in the modern day, and it was not. And there's just something about like reading a book about a woman who just like wants to be a lawyer, and everyone being like, oh no babe, you can't do that, you're supposed to just get married, women are only good for cooking and cleaning. And then the one guy that's like doesn't treat her like that, she's like, oh my God. Like, it's just like the bars on the floor. I'm not a fan of historical romance or historical fiction, really. At least one set in this time period with this specific trope of like a woman just wanting to be seen as a fucking human being. So I didn't really like it. It was hard to get through, but it was also the end of the readathon, so I was exhausted, I was tired. I think all of that just played into it. So this unfortunately was only a 2 stars. Okay, that is it. That is everything that I read in my 24-hour readathon. Oh my gosh, my physical TBR still looking too big, but we made a little bit of a dent in it, so I am happy with that. If you guys want me to do this again, or if you want me to do like other reading challenges, let me know what you want to see in the comments below. Yeah, I think I'd be down to do this like once every few months, you know? I don't know if I could do it super regularly because it took a lot. It took a lot to like block out a whole like basically 2 days of my life, but I'm glad I did it. I'm glad you guys experienced it all with me. So I will talk to you all in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!